Hello, Brick Sculptors, and welcome back to Brick Sculpt. This is Chris, and we got something a little different for you today. I wanted to try something just for fun. I haven't done a very non-purposeful build in a while, and I was walking my daughter to school this morning, and I saw this. This was a piece of a bush. I don't know what kind of bush it is. I'm sure some of you do. Let me know in the comments if you know. And I said, that is really cool. I'd like to build that. So I pulled this off the bush. I don't recommend doing that, but don't tell my neighbors. And I said, I'm going to bring that home and build it. Now, building this, I'm on a time crunch here because this is not going to last long. This is going to start to wilt pretty soon. So I had to get to it. I had to use what I had in stock and get this built quickly. Of course, I could work off a picture, but what fun is that? That's not cool for a video, right? So I grabbed a clamp here out of the shop to hold this up. Let's see if we can get this the right angle. There we go. And we are going to try to build that. So this was kind of the angle I wanted to go for here. And I basically started by building a stand. So this was going to branch off from here, and hopefully we can make something somewhat similar to that. Now my initial thought when I saw this, and what made me want to do this build was, I have these alt bricks, these are Go bricks, of this recolor of this flower mold from Friends. Now, these are very limited in how you can use them because it's a pin connection. It's not a stud connection. So my initial thought was I'm going to take these, I'm going to pair them with these 3-leaf pieces, and I'm going to cluster those together and make this. And then when I actually got it home, I was like, oh man, there's a lot more white than green there. All the greenery is underneath here, not up on top by the flowers. I also clustered these together, and they do sit quite tall. Now, it's not really taller than this, but again, it's a lot of green at the top. The colors aren't really right. And I'm not going to build it to this scale because, again, I have limited parts. I got to work with what's in stock before this wilts away. So this idea, unfortunately, I had to throw out. I did decide to try to whiten it up a little bit, lighten it up, I should say, by adding white to it and using the white 3 stem pieces, which was better, but a little bit too much white, honestly. And they're still quite long because, again, my build's not going to be as large as that. I went through all the different flower types trying to figure out the next best solution. I do have these alt brick daffodils I used in my spring challenge build. They look similar but not perfect. I did have these Lego flowers in white. Those look decent, but they're going to extend out kind of far. What I ultimately settled on was the original old school Lego flower. And I took those and I attached them on some tan 6 stem pieces to get a nice tight cluster like that. I did add a 3 stem underneath in white just to give it a little bit more color and make it a little bit fuller. And I think that replicates it pretty nicely. So that is going to be the flower cluster that we use when we build this. Now I got the flowers down. Next I had to build the stem. And for the stem I had to work with very small diameter because this is very, very thin. So I had to be very careful. What I used a lot of are these 1x1 rounds with bars on them because these make for fantastic little hinges. If you put 2 of these together, it'll make a nice light duty hinge for something with a very thin diameter. I paired this because we have bars on each side with lightsaber hilts. Now I have a lot of lightsaber hilts in dark brown, so that branch is going to be a mix of dark brown and reddish brown. But this was going to be the basis of my stem. So the final stem ended up looking like this. I've got some different connections in there. Again, we've got a hinge piece, lightsaber hinge piece, lightsaber hinge piece. I did add a bracket in here just to get an extra connection point. Lightsaber, and then I have this little eyelet piece. That's actually regular brown because I didn't have it in reddish brown. Again, I got to work with what I have. I got to work quickly here. And I'm trying to get that curve so I can do a little bit of an angle here, a little bit of an angle here, kind of twist the whole thing, balance it out, starting with the 45-degree angle down here, and we can kind of get that, that slope nicely. And that little curve, and we're ready to start decorating. Now I had to connect a lot of different stuff on here, and I have a few different ways of connecting them. As for the flowers, one of the best ways to connect I found was using these clips and bar holders in bright green. Underneath the flowers here is a lot of very light green and tannish color. So I didn't want to go real dark under here. I didn't want to use any browns or dark greens. I'm just going to clip this right here. And we're going to kind of build around that. So the next thing I needed was some leaves. And if you look at the leaves of this branch, they're a little bit larger, and there are some smaller ones as well. So what I wanted to do is kind of mix it up. So I did a mix of green 3-leaf pieces and these larger big 3-leaf pieces, all in green, a little bit darker. These leaves are pretty close in color. So I wanted to use these in combination with each other. And I'm going to stick this right on top of this hinge piece. That's another thing that's nice about these, using these 1x1 rounds, is it gives you a connection point as well. And I want to put it right next to this. I mean, ideally, these would come out of the middle, but it's not going to be a very strong connection because it's just a stud, and these are a very soft plastic. They don't connect very strong. So yeah, I could make them come out of the middle, but I think it works better this way. And once I get it all nice and busy, you won't even be able to really tell. So there we go. We've got our first flowers on there. We've got our first leaves on there. And now we can start building out from there. Here I did another cluster of flowers. I did add a second white 3-stem on here. And I'm just going to put that right on this side here. We want to kind of surround those leaves and really fill this up. It's looking pretty good. Then we're going to add a little bit more greenery here. So on this one, I'm going to put this bigger 3-leaf up top, and I have a smaller 3-leaf I'm just going to put on the back here, just trying to fill out the colors and make it look a little more full. There we go. Stick that back together. And then we need more flowers here, so there's our next cluster. And we want to leave a little bit of space in between these. These are a little spaced out. That might move to that side. Let's see where the next pieces go. Another connection I did was I took one of these 3-leaf pieces and I put it on a clip like this, and that allowed me to hang it underneath. A lot of the leaves on this side kind of hang underneath. So I can bring that up and around underneath to just get those leaves sticking out, but they won't really be sticking out far and showing a lot. Just to give that color is what I'm looking for. The next one, I have another cluster of flowers stuck into a 3-leaf piece, and that's going to go right on top of this one. Starting to come along here. And then for the end. So for the end, I took a 6-branch piece. I actually used brown. A couple of 3-leaves to connect it. And then every end has something. So these 3 have flowers with 3-leaf pieces under it. That one just has a 3-leaf, and this has one of these big 3-leaves. And that's just going to stick off the end here. And I got to just be careful to position it right so that everything looks good and is firmly attached. And then we're just going to tease the branches around a little bit, get them in a good position so they look nice. Maybe move this one under a little. Make sure our angles look good. We are starting to get a bit of weight at this point, so we have to be a little bit careful. All right, and after a little bit of persuasion, getting everything positioned just right, what do you guys think? Did I do a decent job? Well, this was a lot of fun, and I think you guys could have fun doing this too. So I'm going to add a channel in the Discord server where you guys can post pictures. You don't have to rip a piece off a plant. You can take a picture, but a picture or a real plant side by side with your own Lego creation. And let's see what you guys come up with, and maybe I'll make a video sharing them here on the channel. Thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, please leave them below. I'll do my best to answer them. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. And any more just like this in the future. That's all I have for this time, and we will see you next time.